we're working on our 10th record right now. So as a result, I think the way that we like to think is an evolutionary phase. Whereas our first album was, we call it more organic sounding. It was a very raw live instrument sounding album. Our second album, we called it organic hip hop jazz. Our third album, you could consider that a very underground, a very dark underground hip hop sounding album. Our fourth album was what we call like a neo soul album, which was more soulful and less harsh sounding than the one that came before it. Our fifth album was a live record, so we just wanted to give a live perspective of how the group sounded. Our sixth album, which is probably my favorite album of all of our albums, the album called Phrenology, is basically I call it the anti-Roots album, because every song on that album contains some sort of element that people expected us not to do. And we wanted to do that for two reasons. One, not to get typecast as a particular type of group and to always keep you guessing. But we also just did it to really show the range of the group, because in concert we do all types of songs. But on record, we really had to stick to one certain mood. So, you know, if you're a fan of our third album and our live show doesn't necessarily reflect that, then you're walking away with your head scratched. So, and it just goes on and on. So now for our 10th record, this is probably, I wouldn't call it like the electronic record, but it's probably the first time that we're using more predominant synthesizers as opposed to a Fender Rhodes sound. The sound of a Fender Rhodes keyboard has always been associated with the Roots. So I kind of noticed that on none of our 9 albums did we predominantly feature other keyboard sounds, like an ARP or you know, like analog synthesizer stuff. So that's the sound of it. But my personal favorite would have been our 6th record, Phrenology, which was basically just all over the place.